Big Daddy Kane on NPR.
Rappers stepping to me.
Soon to be defunct.
I'm the Kane, so yo, you know the outcome. Another victory. They can't get with me. So pick a BC day, cause you're history. I'm the authentic poet to get lyrical. For you to beat me, it's gonna take a miracle. And step it to me. Yo, that's a wrong move. So what you on, Hobbs?
Don't adore fools.
Competition, I just devour. Like a pit bull against a chihuahua. Cause when it comes to being dope, hot damn, I got it good. Now let me tell you who I am. The BIGDADDYKANE. Dramatic, Asiatic, not like many. I'm different, so don't compare me to another. Cause they can't hang, word to the mother. At least not with the principle in this pedigree. So when I roll on your rappers, you better be ready to die because you're petty. You're just a butter knife, I'm a machete. This made by against you. Wait until when you tried the front so I can chop into your body. Just because you try to be basic. Friday the 13th, I'm gonna put it Jason. No type of joke, gag game, puzzle or riddle. The name is Big Daddy, yes, big, not little, so define it. Here's your walking paper, sign it, and take a walk. As the Canes start to talk, I need everybody out here to help me out one time. And I'm gonna need y'all to repeat after me. I need y'all to say, ain't no half stepping. Ain't no half stepping. Say it like it's 6 o'clock. Ain't no half stepping. Hold up, my rhymes are so doping. The rappers be hoping to sound like me so soon I have to open a school of MCing for those who wanna be in my field in court. Then again, on second thought, the have MCs coming out sounding so similar. It's quite confusing for you to remember the originator. And boy, do I hate a perpetrator, but I'm much greater. The best, so guess, I guess, suggest the rest should fest. Don't mess or test your highness unless you just address with best finesse and bless the paragraphs I manifest. Rap prime minister, some say sinister. Non-stop in the groove until Winchester. Climax and I max, relax and chill. Have a break from a take of me acting ill. Brain cells are lit, ideas start to hit. Next to formation of words that fit. At the table I sit, making it legit. When my pen hits the paper,
oh shit,
I start to stand strong over MCs. I devour with the power of Hercules or Samson. But I go further to left. You can scout my cameo and I still have strength. No, that's not a myth, and if you try to riff or get with the man with the gift and gift, fuck gab your vocab, I only ignore. Be sleeping on your rhymes till I start to snore. You can't wake me or even make me fear your son, cause you can't do me none. So think about it if you're trying to go. One more time, what's the name of this song? Help me out, y'all. Ain't no half stepping. How they sound to you? Come again, y'all.
Ain't no half stepping.
Let me hear you once more. What? I lied, just one more time, y'all. Come on. Now I can take it from here. Dig this. I appear right here and scare and dare a mere musketeer that will dare to compare. Put him in the rear back there where he can't see clear. Get a bare idea or near stare. Yeah, sworn to be, wanna be competition. Trying to step to me, must be on a mission. Up on the desk is where I'ma get you at. You think I'm losing?
Picture that. You know, I had a wonderful, terrible childhood. I really did. I mean, like I said, I had a wonderful, terrible, or terrible, wonderful, whichever. Because, I mean, parts of it were fucking terrible. But then there were parts that you forget that it's our culture that kind of made. I think the Xers had one of the best childhoods, or had one of the best, you know, because we kind of we got to enjoy certain things, probably the entirety of our generation. You know, I think maybe the boomers, the earlier boomers missed a lot of things. Like they probably didn't watch Sesame Street. They probably didn't, you know, they probably weren't that into NPR. You know, I mean, well, like my mom, I think probably listened to a lot of NPR. We're probably going to lose these things, and you know, PBS and. Now, I thing is I haven't watched PBS in decades, but I watched so much that when I was a child, and I think it was very important for me to experience those things. That was just standard issue. Oh, how old is he? 5? Good. Put in front of TV. PBS is on. You know, Sesame Street's going on. And I think that we are making such horrible mistakes getting rid of these things because some investments you never truly can understand the return on it because it's cultural wide, it's societal wide, and without it being help created and funded, and the torch was passed on because of the government. And I just think it's really sad that we're probably going to wind up losing it because of the fact that they're just becoming so cutthroat. Well, I mean, they want to destroy America. They want to create Gilead, something else, something similar to that probably. But I don't like change. Well, I don't like some change, especially change that's heartbreaking. Some things I never really get over, and some things I'll for decades ruminate on, and it becomes really bad. And then there's always these certain things that would bring me, is like, good. It's like people who have dealt with trauma or dealt with very depressing things, or just being born, on the spectrum. And really on the spectrum, not just ADD or dyslexia. Yeah, y'all in there. So shut the fuck up. Unless you're actually autistic, don't say you're on the spectrum. Please don't do that. You're a spectrum adjacent if you're ADD. All right? Thank you. It's like that kind of creates a balance of certain things, and now that balance of memories I can cherish will be gone. And just think about how much harm it's going to cause the kids of the next generation, and I don't know. It's like we have. It's really sad that we've lost our way. Well, I haven't lost my way. I know where the fuck I'm going. Well, you motherfuckers lost y'all's way. Y'all got suckered into shit that was short term, pleasure, short term, convenient, short term. This one of those things like NPR, PBS. Those are things that if they get rid of those, it's just gonna be sad. I mean, they already have corrupted, Voice of America, which I saw some hearings on that yesterday or the other day. I was kind of like, I just so upset that I know that most of the people who could, keep a balance of these things are not very good. It seems that, weighing the options of what's going to work best for your what works best for their future best interest, what works best for our country's best interest, and saying that all that shit they want to do is in our best interest is absolutely incorrect. A strong democracy, a strong world power invests in its people and invests in government programs. It's like, I know that the billionaires are awfully upset about Obamacare. That really fucking pisses them off because that took a lot of leverage away from themselves. Because the only way you get health care in this country that even resembled being affordable is that you had a fairly decent job at a major corporation. And I'm not talking about like you're cleaning the bathrooms, at some like Frito-Lay or something. No, like you're some sort of mid-level management of some kind. You'll get good health care. And it's not just that you do the work for them, it's also to constantly work to get to a certain level, to get the promotion so that you can get to the good insurance. Well, now my kids will be protected. It's kind of like, that's why they hated it, because then that went away. We didn't have to worry about that no more. And it gave us a lot more leverage for our own freedoms and taking control of our own power. That's why they desperately want to get rid of it. Now, the thing is they don't want to get rid of it for the disabled and the elderly. I have a strong hunch that the Democrats are lying. They use their own form of, manipulation. They use their own form of, scare tactics, control dramas. Because even Elizabeth Warren, I heard, her said, man, do you know how many the disabled children, the elderly? It's like, I think those are the only people that were probably left. It's like all the people who aren't elderly or disabled or like children. It's kind of like poor does not qualify. It will not qualify you for it anymore. Being poor, but the thing is, I think that in how it used to be, if you got sick, and you were poor, you could then get Medicaid, but you can't just be on it and milk it for all you can, because that's the problem is the healthcare systems, they will fucking draw you in there as many times as possible so they can, expand their billing opportunities, make more money for themselves. That's the truth. That's what I've done all the math there is to do on that. That is the absolute fucking truth. There's nothing else. No other fucking excuse for it. They say 15 million Americans are going to lose their health care. So, okay, but that's like what, about 5.5% of our population? That doesn't really sound like that much when you're looking at the total percentage. So I don't know. It's kind of like one of those things where they're so desperate to control a narrative to make absolute sure that they don't lose anyone. I mean, I know that they don't want it, but it's like, but the thing where it's like, sometimes you kind of have to, accept your fate, and you have to, negotiate in good faith. And, if we're not going to negotiate in good faith, they can't. Or they won't. I mean, they don't want to anyway. But, we are not good enough at, deceiving and bullshit, at least our leaders on the left side. They are not good enough at shit to try and counter them with it. At least that's what I'm assuming. And, it's like, it's going to be hard for me when it goes. It's like, I just kind of every day, the more and more I see our society just kind of systematically become, it's like I'm watching the malignancy spread. It's mastatizing. I'm watching it mastatize. And I feel like my soul is kind of going at the same rate with it. And that will be a big thing in certain things. But it's like, people say that they're going to get rid of Social Security. I think the thing is that there are certain guardrails. Or at least I hope so. Like, they know not to get rid of Social Security, but they also know that they can't just, like, offer it to anyone that just doesn't feel like working if they're not disabled. I worked for years. I tried and tried and tried. I went through hell. I was tortured, emotionally, mentally, especially the last place I worked at, and plus now I'm physically ill, physically sick, and it's like, I see a lot of these people that are like, me too. It's like, oh no, not you. No. It's like even the slightest little thing, I think it can stretch out. They'll turn it into, and then they have to, and it's like, that's the reason why they're so, absolutely adamant and desperate that they get an opportunity to force people back to work. They will. The pandemic really kind of put a real dent in their, in their long-term goals. And I'm not saying that what they want to do is right, and I'm not saying that, what we would rather have is wrong, but, things have to still math out. And that's the thing is there is a point where it's like, you kind of have to say, I understand what the conservatives are thinking, but that's also the other part of the argument is that the reason why we can't afford these things because they don't want to pay our fucking taxes. See, they want to have a tax deduction, not so much because they do want the money because they do, but then they want an excuse for why it is they're not going to give us the programs, why they're not going to give us the assistance. Well, we can't afford it. And it's like, well, yeah, because we're in too much debt. And it's like, it's kind of like they're more concerned about control than they are about money. But yes, they do fucking love money. The two things they love is money and control, because those two things, guess what that equals? Power. Absolute power. Yeah, they want the money, but it's the long-term goal is control. They want to get their control back because that's a problem. Is under Obama, they lost a lot of it. And part of the reason why they lost a lot of it is because they ran the fuck amok during Bush because he let them. And they wreaked so much fucking damage, they just did so much harm. They created fucking these never-ending wars in two different places in the Middle East. To two opposite ends of the Middle East, we had fucking major scale war going on for a decade in one place and 2 decades in another. Yeah, that's fucking bad. It's really bad. It's like that's just so that builds up on the debt. And the thing is, they don't want to stop them wars though, because there are a lot of people who are making a lot of money, selling the arms for it, selling the equipment for it, selling the supplies for it, the services they provide for it. It's kind of like, they can't pay for ours and pay for theirs. So it's, but that's the thing is, I really get upset because I think that it's like, people will say it's the Democrats. People will say it's the progressives. It's both you stupid motherfuckers. That's what it is. Both of y'all fucking failed us. Sorry. And the thing is, this is the reason why the progressives have to take over. It's like, I don't think any of us really know exactly what to do now, but I think when our leader shows itself, we'll know who that is. Gavin Newsom's looking really good right now, although I would have said a year ago, so I don't know, he's kind of douchey. I'm not sure if that's going to work. I don't know if we're going to go for that. So, but yeah, it's like, I was just sitting here, and I was thinking about what I was going to do a video on, and it's like that. I was like, I got my thing, and it's kind of like my little way to, talk about politics. It's kind of like, I see. That's the thing. Is the difference between me and you is that I am not limited to, only one perspective. I can see both of them equally. And the reason why is because the fact that my brain ain't like yours, which is why I can relate to either side. But neither one of you fuckers can relate to me. And that's why it's like people who act like, the people who sit there don't realize they're claiming to understand and relate to people like me, and in everything they try to do, they're digging their own hole, showing how they just basically are wishing in front of me how much they wish they could, so that they could look so badass, virtuous. It's like the whole, it's like I've told these kids, it's like, I don't understand. We've seen this before. It happened in the 90s. It's called PC. It's called political correctness, PC. Oh, shut that PC motherfucker up. At least our shit, kind of had better sound to it. Woke. Y'all, this thing is like, I said, why is it the people who sit there and, white people who accuse other white people of being racist, don't realize that you misappropriated a cultural, colloquialism used by, African American community. I guarantee you this, some wealthy, white Jew that's on one of those progressive things, you always constantly, playing, playing shit like Wu-Tang Clan, or I got a Wu-Tang record on this side, and then I got my Rage Against the Machine on this side, and then I'm always constantly trying to use the woke lingo like I'm totally cool because I'm like so progressive and because I'm so not racist. It's kind of like, no, you look like the fakest motherfucker I ever seen, because a year ago you were talking shit about Bill Burr. Now this year you're talking about how much of the man he is, and it's kind of like you're just going along with whatever trend there is. It's like, this is the reason why I don't respect none of y'all. Any of y'all. And the Democrats. I'm not on the right. But I know this. There is no left anymore. It's just kind of like, their shit's imploding too over there. Their shit's going nut shit. Our shit has been going nut shit for a long time. And no one has been able to really, recognize what we need to really worry about. It's kind of like we've had people are making crises of cultural issue crises that don't exist, just so they can get people riled up, because it makes them money. It makes their organization money, and they're so fucking greedy and short-sighted. They don't realize they're not helping what they claim to be helping. They're helping themselves by hurting the rest, without the rest realizing that they basically have triggered them into something that will just cause them harm. And it sucks to watch it, sit there and go, y'all need to shut up about that woke shit. Yeah, in that matter of fact, I didn't like that shit when I heard it. And the reason why is because I hate to see fucking young kids that don't understand what the fuck woke is. And you're not using a term correctly at all. You know why? Probably because you're not black. You're a fucking white kid from the upper middle class, nice suburb, What the fuck? Why do you have a Wu-Tang album and then you have Rage Against the Machine now? How fucking old are you? That's my shit. That's my generation. Are you 50? Okay, then stop fucking putting my shit up on the wall and telling me I don't know better. Don't tell me I don't know better. When you basically borrowed that shit from your parents or your uncle or something, they're the ones that turned you on that shit. Now you're like, yeah, we got to take the power back. Yeah, bulls on parade, man. Like, yeah. It's like You know, it's like, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. I was in high school and college those years. And these little fuckers are sitting there acting like that's their shit. It's like, you know what? That was also being taught too. That was also being yelled at, these politically correct fuckers who are constantly trying to get attention for themselves on fucking news. You know, or on news commentary programs, political programs. That's why Bill Maher, who, by the way, all you progressives, that's a fucking ragged motherfucker, and he's been making millions of dollars a year doing this shit for 3.5 fucking decades. That's the only reason why you talk shit, is because he found a way to make money at it, and he didn't compromise their fucking integrity to go along with every goddamn trend there is in your little community there. And then hammer this point on and on and on and on to the point where you hand over control of our fucking government to the other side. Because everybody's so tired of your fucking smug talking down to everyone judgmental shit when you're nothing but a fake piece of shit yourself. Because they don't believe you. Most of y'all, some of y'all are great and you really mean it. It's like somebody like, I love, Midas Touch, love them. You know why? Because they're not fake. I don't know. I don't really like they kind of put their pretty boy, little brother over there. I'm not sure what his talent is, but it seems like he's just there to get, the young chicks fucking buy t-shirts or something. I don't know. But Ben and the other dude, he's awesome. Popok, fucking GM up, man. He's great. Thank God for him. Brian Tyler Cohen used to annoy me a little bit. Great now. Someone who I used to sort of like, Dave Patman, don't like him no more. He's quit fucking making predictions. Every time he does that, I lose more respect for him. And it seems like every time I turn around, he's like, they're coming after me. It's like, yeah, they're coming after everyone eventually, dude. Don't worry. They'll get you too. But I don't think they're specifically coming for you first. Okay? They're coming for someone first. Trust me. They're coming after Lincoln Project long for you. They're coming after Midas Touch long for you. Okay? Don't worry. Don't worry. Democracy Docket, they're coming for that motherfucker long for you. They have personal beef for that guy. You talk your political opinion online on YouTube, and I'm sure they don't like it, but I don't think you're a priority for them to send straight to martyrdom or something. Chill out, okay? Because I'm starting to think I'm finally starting to think maybe Dave Patman's just an act. Or partly an act. Starting to lose respect for the guy. I used to. But because, people, and it's like, dude, do you really think that, you were respected, but you really think you're so respected every time you get your fucking mouth, we're just going to believe what you say is automatically correct? And no, I'm not calling your fucking line, leave it a fucking mess. Fuck you. I don't have time for that stupid shit. I'm on here to, express myself, and try and point out the fact that, everything that I have to live for, or what keeps me alive, is in jeopardy. And not only can I not trust the Republicans to be truthful, I can't trust Democrats to be truthful because y'all keep repeatedly saying, y'all don't say poor people are going to lose their insurance. You're saying the elderly, disabled, and children are going to be left without insurance. It's kind of like, I don't think that that's completely correct. I think that you're kind of like, it's like you're lawyering that shit up. And you need to stop doing that, because that's one of the things that, blue collar, white people who would be Democrat voters, if y'all would stop doing that, don't like that. They really don't. That's the thing. It's my problem. I said, 15 million Americans. Ain't we got like 300 million Americans in this country? Really? So, all right, so 15 times is 150. Okay, but then double that, and then one is, divided by 4. Okay, so that's like, what, 5 million people? Or 5%, total population or something like that. Or no, it's like, yeah, because you would divide 15 by 3. If you're using 100%, 100 million, Well, I don't know how you reverse engineer your fucking math, but it sounds like it's just, 5%. Which, if I'm not mistaken, a lot more than that was added onto the expansion. See, I constantly worry that I might be thrown into that category. I might lose lose all my shit because they keep saying that. What do you want me to do? You want me to go down there, and you want me to go protest? I don't think you want to, because I might actually accomplish something and fucking piss y'all off because I'll make y'all look bad. I mean, because I look at it as that, you know, I have a problem that needs to be solved. Y'all look at it as we have a problem that we need to be able to milk for decades. It's like, you know, the fact that y'all won't force out Chuck Schumer, y'all won't force out, you know, well, they won't go. It's like, well, tell them they ain't got no fucking choice. You know, how about you actually make a real threat to them? I mean, I can't. Of course I can't. God almighty. But, you know, I mean, it's like, I mean, you know, Chuck, you look like your balance been getting off a little bit lately, you know. And we're just kind of afraid you're going to walk down marble steps one day and trip and fall and bust your fucking head right open on them fucking steps one day. And we'll say, we told that old motherfucker to go home because he started already. We could see the mole growing behind his ears. We told him it's getting to be that time. You know, and he's just like, ironically, he was on his way to write a strongly worded letter. He really was. And it's like, that just freaked him out enough, man. He fuck quit finally. I'm not impressed with leadership right now at all. And that's why I think a governor, there's no one in Congress who's going to win. Or anyone who's been in Congress recently is going to win. It's going to be a governor. Yep. Like it'll be like a Walz, or it'll be, I love Tim Walz. People are like, well, he lied or misled. I don't give a fuck. Look at Donald Trump. He fucking sold us out to the fucking Russians, okay? And then he lied and they didn't. So, I mean, it's got, you know, I hate this shit where we're so holier than thou. It's like, I want to got lies a little bit, you know? I kind of like that. I mean, you know, he lies for me. It's like, you know, baby, tell me them lies, you know, that I believe. You know I'll believe them lies. Tell them, you know, the ones I want to hear. All the ones I love. You know, tell me them ones I like. Real sweetly, too. You know, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Let me tell you something. There is no semen on that dress because I did not pull out on that chubby lady right there, okay? She said, oh, there's some on there, some, I made sure that I kept a strong seal on that, man. I'm going to tell you what, that was a fun one right there. And then we got it on the dress, my ass. Tell that fat bitch to shut the fuck up. I've been holding this bong hit since I think like early 70s. I said, you ever smoke marijuana? I never exhale. I don't know why they keep saying I never exhale. I'm still holding it now, baby. You know me. I want a motherfucker that lies. I want a motherfucker that argues the fucking definition of is. And wins. That's what I want. Yo, we have to have fuck you and fuck your integrity. I hope it fucking dies. I hope your fucking integrity dies forever. This is you know, I'm just tired of this shit where it's like, that's the thing is they repeatedly say is that we are weak. Not only we are weak-minded, we become a weak-minded fucking people because everyone's expected to go along with this weak-minded shit. What happened to my shit kicking Democrats? What happened to my Democrats that would be like, fuck you. Actually, I know where they are. They're down there in Oklahoma. You know those I've had it people? Those two ladies down there? They're fucking kick ass. Love the hell out of them. You know why? Because they talk shit. They fucking bitch and they ran about it. You know, and that's what I want to see. The thing is that those two ladies down there remind me so much of my Democrat friends from Georgia. That's how we were, because we lived in the middle of enemy territory. And we constantly had to, you know, defend ourselves from these fucking slack-jawed morons constantly. And out there, it's even worse. They live, I think, in Tulsa. I don't know. They live in Oklahoma City. They're in Oklahoma. I've had it, people. Two ladies, you know, I think in their like early 50s. Two blonde ladies they're about my age. One's about my age, and one I think is about 4 or 5 years older. And that lady she even jumped in Gavin Newsom shit in his interview. Like, I mean, it still went amicably, it did well, but she didn't back up. She said, wait, no, that's not what we want. And I was like, yes, you go, girl. Yes, maybe that's what we need. Maybe we need a strong bitch in the front. Well, I don't think she'd be upset about me saying she is a strong bitch because we need one. Tell you what, the shit we big at go. AOC loved her to death, cute as a button. Yeah, she got all that energy. Fuck away, she'd win the mainstream election. No way, not gonna happen. Sorry. I really do. I hate to say that because I like the lady. I really do, and I like that she's around because I like to see our future young ladies grow up looking up someone like her. That perfect. Instead of someone like I don't know, I could rattle off a ton of fucking shitty bitches that are in fucking politics or on the other side selling out their own people just for a little cred, to move up a notch, in their organization. But yeah, those like that's like down there, people accuse me of shit like he's misogynistic. Because I'm gonna tell you what, those ladies kick ass. I'd love to. I actually would like to kind of have maybe either a side show or part of my show would be kind of structured like theirs. Two people who are similar. Like I need a straight man or a woman. It doesn't even matter what kind of man or what kind of woman. All of them. There's all kinds of different ones nowadays. Shit, sometimes the new ones are even prettier than the old ones were. And that's what I like. Matter of fact, I would like a pretty trans lady. And I swear to God, I ain't going to try to hit on her when the camera's off. I would never do that. I'm a fucking gentle. Okay, people that can play that shit. But I'll try my best to be one. Okay, I promise. So fucking sick of it. I can't believe y'all fucking ruined everything. Because you all just like, well, I kind of have my own agenda. And I have to make sure I get it because I think that whatever I want is automatically the most important thing. Like people who back, all the people who sat out during Clinton Trump because they had a pet. Remember, and that's another reason why progressives hate Bill Maher because he was correct. Y'all fucking lost that election because y'all want to sit there and basically hold our party hostage over a singular issue that is clearly not the absolute dire emergency issue that you think it is. It's not. Like people are like, until they do something like, the animal abuses in this world are just horrible, and no one will do anything about it. And I'm not voting again until someone does. It's like they don't even know how the political process works, and yet they're sitting there making demands. It's kind of like you're basically saying I'm too fucking stupid to figure out what actually would be, the rational decision. I lack complete and utter. Critical thinking ability. I just decided to zone in on this one thing I can say I'm virtuous about. Oh, I love the animals, or I love the environment, or I love this, or I love that. You know what you ain't heard since the election? People talk anything about that shit since then. So there's where your fucking priorities are. Freedom. Democracy. Economic equality for people. Not the fucking environment. Not fucking, animal rights. It's not that. Now, here's the thing. Don't even hear shit about, people, demanding, more, that we worship more trans people. But they probably didn't even ask for. Probably some greedy narcissist basically is like cook this shit up and figure that when they saw what was going on, they're like, all right, well, let's just roll with it, Can we come out without someone hurting us now? Okay, we can be publicly, all right. And I'd be like, yeah, come on. Be careful though, because there are a lot of angry rednecks that are really mad because you did a good job doing the trans thing, and they're kind of attracted to you, and they're so conflicted about that, and they have so much rage in them, they might take it out on you because that's what fucking ignorant piece of shits do. And it's like y'all didn't think about reality. You want to wish what you want into existence. That's called toxic positivity. It's the worst fucking thing I've seen so far on the left. It's horrible what happens because of this shit. Y'all refuse to fucking accept that maybe you should kind of reassess. And the thing is everybody keeps saying this, keeps saying that. And the thing is a lot. The whole left is completely fucked right now. The people on the left keep saying this, keep saying that, blah, blah, blah. But you know what James Carville said he's right about? The number one thing you do when you lose elections is you read the fucking exit polls. You read the fucking exit polls so you know what to fucking prepare for the next time. And they fucking refuse to read them. You know why? Because the fucking exit polls will say it's your own fucking leaders that fucked you over. because I'm not fucking supporting, constantly working to support shit that doesn't help anything. Because you're so busy with we want to show dedication to this, there's only like 20 of them left in the world, and, we're not even sure where they all are, but we want to dedicate a whole national day to it, and as long as y'all doing that, y'all aren't accomplishing anything, which is what the corporate Democrat donors want. They don't want y'all doing anything. They're like, yeah, can we have more like, gay and lesbian trans things? Because every time we do that, that means nothing actually ever gets done for what we need. Because we would rather, kind of come in and hijack and corrupt it from, a surprise attack. We come in and we act like, oh, we're Democrats. Yeah, we want to give money to the Democrats. Yeah, what do you want? We want you to go and force Target to have an entire, LGBTQ section, and have an entire celebration around it and all that. And I mean, we want you to put the pressure on because something here at something douchebag, scumbag, and grifter bag. Associates, we really are worried about the gay people in this country, and then lesbian people and the trans people and the queers and I don't know whatever else you got, all the faggots and all them. We want y'all to help them, and it's kind of like they know that what they're doing is just basically creating all kinds of chaos, and the Democrats are just taking their money and doing it. And either they're too fucking stupid to realize that's what's going on, or they're too fucking stupid, or they're too fucking greedy and shitty to not stop. And the thing is, we're gonna have this thing where it's like we're gonna pander to people who we have never had to really learn how to relate to. We probably have spent almost no time around, and we're gonna act like we're totally with them. And it's like something. And at the same time, they're gonna be like, why the fuck do these stupid white bitches have to fucking insult us so fucking bad constantly? And then it's like Bill Burr said, there's always some wealthy, pretty white lady that's got to swing her Gucci-footed boot over the fence of oppression and stand herself at the front of the fucking line in front of the people who it was supposed to be about, so they can sit there and go, look, I'm here and I'm doing, and we're gonna freedom and like rights. And it's like, okay, that's the thing. Remember when he said that, Bill Burr? How about you go tell all them dudes over, all them bros. Progressive bros over at Young Turks about that. Because something? They didn't like that shit at all in 2021. Oh, no, they didn't. But now, they're like, yeah, Bill Burr, man's the man. He just speaks it like it is. Because you found the guy who actually has some actual courage and knows how to talk the right shit. Oh, now you're all about it. Fake fucking people. What can I tell you? This is all on record and fucking YouTube. But you see, I'm autistic, so I see all that shit all at once. So I remember all of it. Like that Nick Strom, same thing. And that's what gets me is lately he's totally like every time I turn around, he's making a Bill Burr's the man. And it's like, dude, you're probably, what are you like? About 103 pounds, 104 pounds? Dude, take that fucking Wu-Tang lamb off your fucking wall, you motherfucker. Oh, and take the low-end theory off, too. How old are you? Yeah, both of them motherfuckers are coming down now. Oh, God. Yeah, we see your native tongue shit, your Wu-Tang shit up there, motherfucker. We see that. And yes, I'm not impressed. I just look at it like this is somebody else trying to earn some credit for shit they never took part of. Okay. But, that's the thing when I see them. A couple years ago, man, they hated it. They hated it. Because he was right. That was the thing was people there were shocked. They didn't know how to react. I mean, Bill Burr is a motherfucker. I'll give you that. He's a hard person to disagree with. But here's the thing. They tried to, cause him some issues. You know what? Not only did it not work, his career has done that much snowball since then. And he's been very well known. He's just like people who actually pay attention to people who have talent, not just people who currently have buzz in the media. so that they can latch themselves onto it and find a way to get themselves more cred or get themselves some more clicks, get themselves some more subscribers, because it's just become a fucking algorithm, an algorithm that you just exploit for yourself. You know, it's just disgusting. We're going to lose NPR probably. We're probably going to lose PBS. And that's going to be a sad fucking day. That's just some of those icon for children. PBS. We got rid of PBS. Do you know how fucking cheap PBS costs to keep open? Oh my God, it's so fucking cheap. It's ridiculous. I mean, even if we took it off of like the regular broadcast and we like put it on a channel on YouTube or put it on a, gave it its own, app on, Roku and shit. But don't get rid of it. Whatever we did, just that needs to stay. NPR, Tiny Desk. Oh God, is that going to be fucking depressing if NPR folds, or if someone doesn't step up and fund it? I mean, we could have somebody step up and fund it for the meantime, and then when we finally get those fuckers out of the way, and then we can come back, and then we can just basically put everything back where it was. Hopefully that's at least what the end would be. But yeah, I love the people on the left, but you know something? I love them enough to tell them when to shut the fuck up, when to quit, digging your own grave, and when to quit wrongfully trying to lead people over a fucking cliff that you can't see. When I can see that cliff, and I'm telling you, I would slow the fuck down, motherfucker, because let me tell you something. You're headed right for a cliff, and you know what? Every motherfucker that you care about is headed your way, right behind you. Oh, you don't see it? All right. I would still stop. Maybe you should reconsider. Maybe you should stop, assess. Maybe you should tiptoe up there, see if it's there. Because it's like Hunter S. Thompson said. The problem with the line is it's really harder to find. Because all the people who know where it is have already been over it. Which then implies, he doesn't say is that once you've gone over the line, you ain't coming back. The only people who know where the line is are the ones who've gone over. But apparently, the autistic are kind of like in between two worlds in a way when it comes to consciousness, or when it comes to, just seeing what's going on. We have a tendency to see a larger picture than y'all do. We see a pattern in this world, and we start to see these things. It's like I've been telling people 20 years. Yeah, this Gilead shit, you didn't see us starting with, George Bush, Jr.? Really, it started with Reagan. Reagan saw something in what, Nixon was doing, and he decided, you know what, I'm going to use my ability as a, an actor, a charismatic, leader and actor to, create, this new era, new type of propaganda I'm going to start. And it'll just keep building on it for years, and then, George the First. And then we had 8 years of really successful Bill Clinton, where he completely fucking, negated most of everything. Then, Junior comes in, guess what? They just basically, immediately started everything up where they'd left off. They left off with George Bush a year before he left office. He started a war in Iraq. And then Bush, he'd been in office for less than a year. And he started a war in Afghanistan. And then found a way to contort it to create one in Iraq too. Yeah, they've been working on this for years, and apparently, the military-industrial complex is very important. That's why I told people, they're like, we have to cut. I want to drastically reduce military spending. I'm like, something. The only reason why the world puts up with our shit anymore is because they're fucking terrified of us. So that may not be a good idea. I'm not saying it's good to intimidate the rest of the world with your military power, but it seems like to me, if we lose our ability to terrify the rest of the fucking world, just, the fact, they are terrified now. Problem is, they're terrified in a way that makes them, influence to fight back. And a lot of them are, right now, they probably have much better, tactful, leadership than we do, even though they have much less equipment or they have much less means, but they seem to, have very smart ways to know how to use it correctly. So, I'm just saying. It's something. It's shit I worry about. It's the reason why I have days where I can't sleep. It's because it's like I have things coming up here recently. I have to worry about, periodic things, involving me just existing. And it's like when I see this shit where it's like I don't know. I have a feeling. I feel it in my fucking bones that they're misleading on that. And it's like, look at Jake Tapper. They want him to do that wrote the fucking Biden book. And it's kind of like, hey, shouldn't you told us that like a year ago? It's like it's like Jon Stewart said, shouldn't you told us a year ago for free? That would have been probably the time to do it. And he was kind of, well, I mean, I am a journalist, so I have to basically do what's best for me first. And it's like, who is that other one, like Richard Wolff or the guy who works at Washington Post or whatever? The deep throat motherfucker. Like, he has all this stuff, and he waits till the last minute. Him and Richard Wolff, they went to the last minute to release their books, not realizing, maybe not everyone's waiting for your book to hit the fucking press so they can read everything in it and then not vote for him. It's like, you idiot, if you would have fucking gave it to the mainstream media or gave it to the not so mainstream media that actually is more effective, like YouTube, just give it to YouTube. Start a YouTube channel, motherfucker. Make a podcast. Put it on there. And then forward it to the people who probably would really love to hear this information so they can go around and fucking inundate everybody with this shit. No, you want to sell a book. Yeah, no, that's the reason why. Everyone's got to get their piece of the pie. And here's the thing, because everyone was so overly worried about getting their piece of pie, even in times of absolute crisis, guess what? Ain't no fucking pie. Never again. Nope. Now on, it's going to be... I think, what's it going to be? Red cabbage stew? Gruel. That's all they serve. Well, I understand that's all they serve at the gulags, so get used to it. We got a little too big for our britches, it seems. I'm sure things will work out. But I'm going to tell you what, people are making this fucking shit 1,000 times more stressful than I need to have to worry about. And it's the fact that, even though I'm disabled, nobody pays me any attention. Nobody respects anything I have to say. Everyone assumes anything I say it doesn't sound like the most mainstream, understanding, most mainstream, thing. What do? They call me a delusional moron. It's kind of like, okay, you do know what projection is, don't you? All right. Well, if you don't know, because Americans almost say all of them are narcissistic. So, you'll act like you do and you don't. But don't forget that. Go look at it later. Because, if you don't, you're going to look like a fucking moron then, too. So, you want to make sure that you don't fuck up your narcissistic supply, for the rest of the week. And it's, I don't know. I guess that's it. And, man, I love NPR, Tiny Desk. I see so many great artists that get to come in there and get, wider exposure. And then I see great artists from the past that get to come back and share their history. And I'm just upset that, God, I hope that fucking bill is just destroyed. But, it's something I have to live with the, worst case scenario as possible. Because that's what y'all fucking done. That's what I have to live with. I have to always consider that might happen. Let's see. I think I want St. Paul and Broken Bones. That seems like one. Yeah, there we go. I'll just play the less sad one from Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, this poor lonely heart. It is made of your steel. Oh, it's made of pure steel. Now is it not? And you can't let it cry. You can't let it cry. I'm talking. At the poor end of the street, populated house.
I'm gonna shock you. Be careful.
Somebody has to heal me, Lord.
That's what he looks like. Can you believe that?
Ain't no way that I could stay here breathing, baby. Breathing, Lord, there ain't.
Just a chubby, pale, red-headed white guy from Birmingham. Yeah, but it's fine. I hope everyone has a lovely day. I'm gonna try to get some sleep. I need to. I don't know if I will be able to. Like I said, I got a lot going on because there's a lot to worry about, and then I'm trying to figure out how to, Well, with this thing, it's like I said, I'm just kind of getting a lot of things down when I have my thoughts because there's still equipment I need to get. There's still stuff I need to do, and then I'm going to do it in a long process where I'm going to go ahead, it's kind of I think I feel like it's like making an album, I'm going to maybe I'll make it all raw film and all the raw tracks. And then eventually I'm going to cut all these videos into pieces. Or I'm going to, meld them all together. I'm going to add in, segues, or I'm going to add in, cutaways, just other things, to, whatever. But, at these times, it's like I want to get my stream of consciousness type, monologue, type thing going. It's like everybody's always said that, I was, the greatest. I was like somehow that people got to hang out or grew up around, they saw as being one of the best, monologue, comedians that just kind of free flows it out. All right. Say hi to Mom and them for me. Love y'all. Bye.